apparently what happens to a lot of people on this planet. They get to a certain level and they're told either you join us or you die.
I need abnormal hit records. I don't need regular shit. I need shit that sounds so crazy you want to put it on repeat.
Once I realized I had met an honest, genuine, high-level Freemason who told me there were 13 levels of Freemason above the 33rd degree, and that these people were God. There was no God, they were God. So I asked them about their plans to kill people, and they said, yes, there are too many people on the planet. We need to get rid of several billion. And war doesn't seem to work, so we're going to use disease and starvation. Now, I don't know about you, but I couldn't live with something like that. And my first thought was I'll have to pretend to join them and try to, throw them over from the inside. And I suspect a lot of the people inside those groups have the same feeling. They hate being there, but they're scared. But they'd love it if these guys were overthrown. So you gotta remember, not everybody in the secret government is evil. In fact, I'd be willing to bet a majority actually want to do good things for the planet, but they're scared.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil. Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tommy, came to me crying. She was crying so bad I had to hold her. And she said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones. And he's very, very evil. And she doesn't trust him. And he is a horrible human being. And we have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
I'll have to explain some of this when I'm done, but you're not going to understand it all unless you know something about music. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He said, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. I'll explain what that means in a minute. I said, okay, one last thing. I've been hearing that you must be an initiated witch now to get a record contract. He said, that's right. He said, many of us that weren't total witches have to be witches now in order to produce music. Thank you. The master is a tape about as big as the top of this podium that looks like an overgrown 8-track that the album is cut on and is placed in a machine that produces and presses the records and the 8-tracks and cassettes that you buy. After it's been recorded, it's taken in. This is why a master's cut months in advance before it's released. On the full moon, it's taken in to a temple room about the size of this auditorium that is in every one of the major music companies. Behind locked doors up in the executive office. And it's placed on an altar sitting in the north of the room and a pentagram engraved in the floor. And 13 hand-chosen witches and wizards and a coven come in and conjure a principality or a power up, usually Regia or something like that, and order him to tell the demons under him to follow every record and every tape coming off of that master. As I tell many Christian parents, you can go home and count your kids' records, probably yours too, and count how many demons at least are there. If that's too hard for you to believe, I'm sorry. That's why they do it. Now listen to me. This is why rock music's addicting. Have you ever seen kids that got rid of their music? They go around like this. They can't wait to find a rock station somewhere and they sneak off just like getting a cigarette or a fix because it's addicting. That's why they can't give it up. The rest of the conversation was this. You can't cast a spell on a Christian, but you can get a Christian to cast a spell on themselves. If you give the permission for the spell to work, being a Christian won't block it. And rock music is not just a song. It is supernatural music that which is carefully designed by their spirit guides or familiar spirits in the form of spells. Now, although the devil's music's power is the music and God's music is the words, much of the songs are written in what we call witch language. Give you kind of an idea. You talk, many of you talk on a CB, unless you know what a smoky is, and a 10-4, and a front door and back door and rocking chair and these type of things. You don't know what you're talking about. Same with witches. When you're in the first and second level, you have to learn over 2,000 words that's said by everybody else means something totally different than when you say it. Elton John has said he's never written a song or sung a song that wasn't in which language.
But Jay-Z was privy to this information, and Jay-Z was one of the ones that took it back to them. So what did they do? They bought Jay-Z off. To tell the short version of the story, each one of these individuals had to make a blood sacrifice. So let's take a closer look at this. Who did Damon Dash sacrifice? He sacrificed his fiance. Who was he engaged to at the time? Aaliyah, who died in a plane crash. Who did Suge Knight sacrifice? Tupac. Who Irv Gotti was supposed to sacrifice, but it didn't happen? Ashanti. She broke away from the camp and now she's doing well. But that was his blood sacrifice. Are you following me?
Yes, sir. Teach.
So, Rap-A-Lot's Jay Prince was heard through the African grapevine that he had inked a deal with the brother Pimp C. And if you can remember, Pimp C went live before he died. And he started blasting people, calling people homosexuals and this kind of thing. And he was calling people out. Shortly after that, they found him dead in a hotel.
Hawks still creating them earthquakes. Another Curtis blow, and these are the breaks. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under in the worldwide tundra. Do your thing, man. Fuck what they looking at. Like Ice Cube said in the stove bag. We all need a dream like Martin. Artifacts given the age when they date carbon. Queen finds you a king for a winning moisten. Most pharmaceutical drugs to poison. Young kids in the clinic seeking direction. Getting drunk and high with no care for protection. The gang bang going to school. Transport on his back and he's packing a tool. DMX and he acting a fool with no inclination. We happen to rule. The CIA brought guns and drugs in. The barber with no shop clippers are buzzing. We move underground like Harriet Tubman. Join together, form a conjunction. Placing your trust in the wrong hands. Scene outlined and chart with car events. They got money back and bring it down on Twin Towers. Any given time, the world is ours. They want chips in your hand and your foreheads. It won't stop till all the enemies are dead. Dealing with them negative entities that murder and kill, leaving dead bodies in the sea. Time for a revolution. We are all byproducts of evolution. Mortal, the soul will never diminish. Once again, at a time to replenish. Frederick Douglass once said struggle is progress. We are undergoing the process. Chemtrails in the sky, foreign objects. Aliens conduct numerous projects on the path to a superior understanding. Everything done sound with remote planning. On the block where the guns get blamming. Running out of ammunition, hammers are jamming. Maybe you could take a picture using the cannon. Watch how the rhythm hits ya. Rise anthem. In the midst of a mystical war, you should always be advised of your physical laws. Blessed with the intuition, change your conditions. On a mission to regain our ambition. The green light shine for witnessing. Existence exists alone. Are you listening? Give them a nod, yet this ain't P. Diddy or the Council of Foreign Relations Committee. This ain't Clinton or Barry Soetoro playing his part in the Novus Ordo. Seclorum got him headed for the danger. You were despised through the eyes of a stranger. Song called Fantasy was earth, wind, and fire. Suffering is led by desire. We lost our empire, something to inspire the youth coming up, consciously raised higher. We really never gave you the true story. Our land was gold, true talk boarded. They stripped pyramids of limestone. Desert Arabs using it on their milestones. People ain't ready for